Hi there guys, Sam here. You join me in the Golf R for what is the last video of 2018. Yeah, there's been plenty of them, but I thought I'd do just a little bit of a summary and also going over, what you can kind of expect a little bit from the channel going forward into 2019 as well. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. So yeah, a long year, I suppose. It's my first sort of full year with the car, so from the start of January all the way through to now. And if you've subscribed and you're used to regularly viewing my channel, thanks very much for that as well. You'll probably know that I love the car. It's that sort of perfect daily. The performance of it is ridiculous. I'll pinch myself. 300 brake horsepower in a four-wheel drive car that you can kind of use every day, and you don't necessarily have to break the bank on running costs by any stretch of the imagination is really extraordinary, really. I mean, you look back 10 years ago even, and you can get like a Ferrari 360 or whatever, a car with similar amount of power which was just well out of reach for sort of potentially, daily use, or I know a Ferrari can't be used as a daily, but this kind of power output, hot hatches at the time were sort of 150 to 200 brake horsepower. That was kind of like the maximum, and then they sort of started trickling up and up and up, and now you're sort of at a 300, which is just a huge increase. Where will it stop going forward into 2019? Absolutely no idea. Interesting to see what companies like Ford do with the new Focus that's come out, what they'll do with the RS. Interesting to see what VW will obviously do with the Golf R. Will they put a hybrid in it? And then you've got other manufacturers like Audi. Will they push the bar even further? Will we see an RS3 with 450 brake horsepower? Will we see an A45 with even higher? Headline marketing figures are important, so they may well do that. All lots of things to look forward to in 2019. As for the car, it's been absolutely brilliant. I think it's done me proud. Today I'm on 15,600 miles, and every single one of them has been great. I've really enjoyed particularly having some fun drives and stuff like that, particularly when you want some downtime out of work. The car's that kind of car for it, which is great, and everyday use is brilliant. One thing I wanted to mention as well, more wanted to say it recently, driving position is really good. I found it before in my Fiesta. Again, if you're used to the old Mark 7 Fiesta ST, one of its criticisms was that the seat was quite high, even when you sort of plant it as low as you can. And yeah, in this car you got no problems with that. I like to sit as low as you can, and I'm as low as I can be. And the steering wheel is like nicely sort of positioned, and it really gets you hunkered into the car. It's like you're in the center of the car, and it can kind of pivot around you. And I think that's just a big part of straight away, you're in a bit more of a driver focused car. You're in a car that they'll think about the driver, they'll think about things like that. I know you can sometimes get issues with sort of, obviously it's a German car, they build more left-hand drive ones. It's a right-hand drive car. I haven't found too many problems with like pedals being offset or anything like that. It drives perfectly fine for me. All the little things kind of do add up in this car. It's a terrific car, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it throughout 2018. I'm really glad that I've sort of had it. I still pinch myself that I've even owned a car like this, to be honest with you. This is not the sort of person I am. If you know the channel, I'm not one to sort of go out and get sort of extravagant things. That's just the type of person I am. So this was a big thing for me to get this Golf R a year and a half ago, and I was very much in doubt within the first sort of few months of ownership, because it was like, I'd spent an awful lot of money. Was it the right thing? And ultimately it's just a car. Could it have gone elsewhere? Etc. But no regrets, and I'm really really happy with it. So what's to come with the channel in 2019? So I've had a little bit more of a think about this in more sort of recent weeks and months. Again, massive thank you so much for the support. I think all the comments I've had for this year have been, on the whole, terrific, and sort of having a bit more of a connection with you guys. I did one of my videos, which was a bit of a Q&A. Surprisingly, it doesn't really get that many views. You can get sort of a couple of hundred views or whatever it is, but you get more comments out of it, and you're interacting I'm interacting directly with you guys. you know, and that was really cool from all kind of around the world. You know, I know there's plenty of people based in the UK, but you get people all across Europe, sort of Canada as well, Australia, America, and that's really, really great. And for you guys to be watching the channel, it means a hell of a lot to me. You know, for reference, you know, I don't, you know, I do this as a hobby really. It's just, you know, I enjoy my cars, I'm passionate about my cars, and you know, a lot of people that hopefully watch these kind of videos are sort of similar minded. And one thing I really wanted to bring out of the channel, and I've mentioned it before in one of my other videos, whenever I'll get like an Evo magazine or a Top Gear magazine or anything like that, out of the whole magazine, the one bit that I'll probably spend the most time reading is the ownership stuff. So those long-termers, well, they say long-termers, they'll have them for sort of 3-6 months or whatever. And that stuff is really interesting, sort of, you know, week on week, month on month, how it's progressing, how they're living with it daily, how's it sort of being tested. And that's what I found interesting. And I'd always look out for stuff like a Golf R. It'd be like, how are they getting on with their Golf R? How's, you know, what are they finding it? You never really know until you own one. And I just kind of wanted to share that really. You know, I wanted to share what it's like owning a Golf R. You know, I knew I was going to do a fair amount of miles on it. You know, I commute in it. My commute can be quite long at times. It can be sort of a 70-mile commute there and back. So yeah, it quickly adds up. And you know, I knew I was going to be able to get quite a lot out of the car. And again, to share it with you guys, because you know, even when this car goes out of production, it should still be quite desirable on the used market, and you know, you may well be interested. And I've had so many comments who people have then bought a Golf R, or they've really, you know, it's changed their minds and it's made them think, you know, take the plunge, and that's fantastic. You know, I'm happy you've taken my advice and things like that. The one thing I will err on the side of caution, this is real thing that I want to say, is do not stretch above your means when getting a car. You know, you can have another car for far less than this and you can just have as much fun. It can just be as good. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this car, and personally, for value for money, it's really good, because it's got, you know, VW Golfs are generally very good on residuals, really good, as which helps with kind of maybe paying a little bit more in the first place. But yeah, never go above your means. You know, think things through. You know, everyone's circumstances are completely different. Don't, you know, if you watch me, you might watch other YouTubers who can spend hundreds and hundreds, thousands of pounds on cars, or, you know, finance the hell out of them. You know, the reason why they can do that is because they ultimately have a lot of money in their back pocket to do that. Don't get yourself into a situation where you're in debt or anything stupid like that. That would be my one strong advice. If you ever watch any of my videos from the channel, don't think you know, this is necessarily a cheap car, or, you know, oh, I'll get it because it's good. I'm really overstretching my limit. Don't overstretch your limit. Do a few bars below it, personally, is always what I kind of say. And you know, you'll enjoy the car a lot more. You know, I hated it. The first few months I hated driving this car because I was just so scared I'd, like, you know, if I damaged it or anything like that. Sure, I had gap insurance and all this kind of stuff, but you know, a lot of money went into this car, and you know, it took a little bit out of the excitement, certainly early on, which has now thankfully kind of gone away. Funny enough, I found the same with my Fiesta ST. I bought that brand new, and I think probably for the first year I only did about 6,000 miles, and they were very easy, gentle miles. I was never really giving it some. It was only when you got into the later stages of the ownership where you really kind of tested it a little bit more. Both terrific cars. So that's the one thing I'd like to say. The support overall has been absolutely ridiculous. You know, I think on today it's 470 subscribers, and I believe it's over 166,000 views I've had on my channel, which is extraordinary. And frankly, it's, you know, it's thanks to you guys all kind of around the world, in the UK, wherever, to watch these videos. And you know, I hope you've enjoyed them. You know, I tried to put a little bit of a different spin on it. I don't want to necessarily do what else is out there. You know, you can just, I've said before, if you want sort of drone footage and you want the best of the best sort of videos you can get, there's plenty of videos you can get out there, which, you know, of other cars, even of Golf Rs, I'm sure you can find something. Not to say that I won't ever try to do those kind of things, but it's not going to be the sort of things I will do week to week. It'll generally be me talking about the car or driving the car and sharing updates week by week, because things change week by week. The main good thing about this is there hasn't actually been really any problems. You know, I haven't said to you, oh, my Golf R needs a new engine. Or I haven't said, you know, this has failed, this is broken, this is awful, because it hasn't. You know, I'm quite a simple guy. I don't really care for like leather or anything specific. I'm not sort of eking out for any of these kind of things, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with this car. It doesn't rattle, it's dead silent, it's comfortable to drive, and it's got the performance to match. You know, off corners, I mean, honestly, roundabouts and stuff like that, just other cars just may as well just forget about it. You've got the four-wheel drive, you've got the 300 brake horsepower, you're gone. And that is crazy to say in just a normal day-to-day car. And then you can just sit back to cruising, and it works really, really well. So not to drift off, but obviously stuff to come into 2019. Obviously I'll share the normal ownership. One thing I would really like to do actually, and something I did a little bit more with sort of Ford, having like fast Ford fairs, there was a little bit more of a community about it. I was more on the forums and stuff like that with my Fiesta ST, just because of the huge popularity of it. And I did have a few events, and they were sort of, I wouldn't say I sought them out, but they were just sort of there. Like I'd go to like touring car events, or I'd go to, you know, just random places, and there'd be like a fast Ford fair on, I think there was one in like Bewley in the New Forest I went to before, or something at Silverstone around Ford, and it, you know, those sort of things were really cool, and again good to chat to people as well, just general enthusiasts about cars. I'd love to do something on the Golf R, you know, certainly I'll have to try and think about it kind of earlier next year, get past sort of January, the bad stuff. And I'd love to meet up with you guys. I know a lot of people are sort of similar area-ish to where I am, and sort of have, you know, however many, 5, 10, whatever, 15 other Golf Rs around. And just, you know, not even necessarily for a video, but to just kind of meet you guys, share your passion about your car, see how you kind of get on, and share that again kind of through my channel. That's kind of what it's been about. Maybe go for a fun drive around some of the back roads that I've got, and on a Sunday morning or something like that. That'd be quite cool to do. That's probably an aim I'll probably try and do for the channel. Other than that, we'll just have to see what happens. You know, I take things day by day. Never know how long I'll get to own this car. You know, things can change in a second, really. Hope I can have it as long as I can, but yeah, you never know. Certainly, it's again, a lot of the comments I get from you guys are, where'd you kind of go from a Golf R? I've done a video on that before, but yeah, it is tough. It is really, really tough for people who have the car on finance. When that term comes to an end, it is very difficult to choose what to go to. And yeah, I certainly, one thing I would say is, don't think that just because you go for a car with less brake horsepower, or maybe again going back to maybe two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or, you know, rear-wheel drive, you're losing out. You've lost something. You know, I'm such a big admirer of so many cars and so many hot hatches out there and so many hyper hatches out there. You know, I could be sitting in any one of them and I'd have a massive smile on my face, frankly. It just so happens that I'm sitting in this one, and the options are kind of endless. And it's whatever suits you. And there is really a car and for everyone really in this kind of segment. Yeah, but certainly there is life without a Golf R. You know, there are cars which are more fun, and you could probably find a car which, well, I don't think there's too many cars more comfortable than this. I think particularly the adaptive dampers, and again, you guys, I think you've said before in the comments as well, and many a time, that it's really, really, really compliant. I find it perfectly fine with this. You know, it doesn't cause me any problems. So that's some of the things for 2019. You know, I'm looking forward to driving it. I reckon we're going to get snow January, February kind of time. That's normally what happens. And this car's going to be awesome in it. I may not have winter tyres or anything like that, but still got four-wheel drive. I'll still obviously take it easy, but it's good to have that all-weather performance. It's been quite wet and cold on the roads, and the car hasn't really missed a beat, and it's been a little bit more adjustable, which adds to kind of the excitement of having it. Other than that, massive thank you for kind of watching the channel, being a part of the channel, and you know, if you do enjoy these kind of videos, there are, you know, it's not stopping anytime soon. I'm still going to keep doing those videos and keep sharing them with you. And again, if you lot have any suggestions of what you would like to see, let me know, drop a comment. I do take these kind of things down and I will share them. You know, if people are watching this now, you would have known, you've probably done comments of stuff that I have then straight away put on. So, you know, I do listen to your feedback and I do take it on board. Yeah, and again, drop it a like if you've enjoyed this video. Drop it a like if you've enjoyed the channel this year. And looking forward to kind of what I'm going to be showing about the Golf R going forward. It is about the Golf R. I hope it's been informative. That's the main thing. I hope it's really been useful to people and enjoyable and easy to watch. And I think it's certainly been heading into that direction. As I said, have a great sort of new year, and you know, please share sort of around the community. You know, I'm sure people will find this channel useful, and yeah, have a good one. Hopefully have some rest away from work. Maybe have some go for a nice drive in your car, whether it's a Golf R or another hot hatch or whatever you've got. Yeah, kind of relax, because, well, another year is nearly upon us, really, isn't it? But yeah, thanks so much for watching and joining the channel this year, and I will see you again next year. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers, guys.